The answers to who Renata Nicole is. I was born in Chicago, I'm raised from Arizona, and I was made in Hollywood. When I was in Chicago, I loved it. I loved the shopping there. And in Chicago, they have the best food. Harold's Chicken is Chicago's favorite. Everybody who's been in Chicago has to have some chicken from there. A little background history about me. In my childhood, I was born to Vanessa, and she was a young mother, and I loved her. I felt like God put me in the right place at the right time with the right parent. Even though I feel like more of a 60s baby, but I'm an 80s baby. I had a personality as a child that was out of this world. I was really creative, and I loved talking on the phone when I was a kid, but I hate talking on the phone as an adult, which is so weird. And a lot of people don't understand why I don't like talking on the phone. I think I talked too much on the phone as a child. I was in plays, and I always was doing talent shows. And a lot of times I did the Diana Ross. I would lip sync and win contests, and everybody would love my performance. In high school, I was on the pom-pom squad, the gospel choir, and I won prom queen. I don't know how that happened because I really didn't have that many friends in high school, but I thank God for the opportunity. And I always was more close to my mother than anybody in the world. And I love me some God. I put him first. And when I was a kid, I used to write him letters, and my grandmother would tell me that God received them. She would sneak in the mailbox and take them out and say, God got your letter. And my father that raised me, we were really close too as well, but we don't have that same relationship. When I was 15 years old, he won the lottery, and then he got remarried, and our lives separated. So between my childhood into my adulthood, I've experienced a whole lot of different things. But the ones that are around me all the time is my grandmother and my mother. And my love life is super personal. Never really like talking about my love life with others. I haven't been in a real relationship in a while. I've been cheated on. I cheated on others. But as a grown person, I don't even believe in cheating anymore. I graduated from Western Michigan University, and I studied marketing and advertisement, and I was always on the dean list in college, and I always had a high school honor roll, and my minor was fashion merchandising and fashion design, and I love having clothes, and so I eventually went my own line. The man who introduced me to the music industry in Chicago was Kevin Shine. We used to do local promotions for local artists such as Shorty K and Q Billa. I was in Meddy, so selected DJs, connected to Sean Morgan's personal assistant. I was creative director of Cutie's Fashion, which is connected to Mark Hobson, who introduced me to the fashion industry. This guy saw me one day working and asked me to start sketching him shoe designs, and we became a team. I became the creative director of his own personal shoe line called Cutie's Designs for ladies, and I started to really fall in love with my talents and drawing, so I knew something had to give, but somehow I ended up in the medical field. And I became doing payroll, human resources, and office managing. It was complicating my life where I couldn't really take time out to do things that I was talented at. Life is a struggle. I've been in car accidents. I used to party like an animal when I was in college. I finally been a homebody type person. When I was 22, someone put a drug in my drink, and I had to go to the hospital. When I was 23, I was in 2 major car accidents, and it broke one of my legs and my ankle. Doctor told me I would never be able to walk again, never be able to do anything. I refused to believe it. I prayed and I prayed, and I kept trying to walk. Eventually, I taught myself how to walk and had no physical therapy. Now, I have an identity theft problem as well. There's a Renata Davis page that is fake that's on Facebook. Someone made of me. Everyone has haters. You know how that goes. If you're not doing anything right in life, then you're not going to have haters. But as long as you're prospering, there's always somebody out there that wants to destroy your character, your person, your name, your reputation. If you ever see pictures like this, these are old photos of me, probably about 3 years old. These are pictures that are used on the fake Facebook page. That is not my page. It is of an enemy. Someone who probably just has nothing else better to do. So shout out to all my haters. I love you because you're going to make me a star. And I know that I am a star. And I was born to be a star. So I left Chicago to be with my mother and to be closer to my grandparents. It was the best decision ever in life. I am very close to them. They raised me most of my high school life and took care of me. When I moved to Arizona, I had no money, I had no jobs, I had my tires were horrible and no navigation system. I made it there. A friend finally gave me a navigation system, and me and my 3 friends got up and we left. I got a job in a week, an apartment without a security deposit, and my tires finally gave out on me after making it to Arizona. I felt like God wanted me to be there. And the 3 friends that came with me, we all felt so blessed to make it there safely that we got baptized as soon as we got to Arizona so that our souls could be saved and so that we can be on the right path. And the friends that introduced me to writing hooks and music was the Diamond Stutter, aka Ari. She was one of the people who stepped by my side and went to Arizona with me. And we love writing music and raps together. Then eventually the worst day of my life, February 3rd, 2010 came. My grandfather, my male role model, my confidant, my buddy, he died. He passed away from heart failure. And it was the most crazy, surreal day in my life ever. I also did some urban modeling that I'm really not into and not really proud of. I don't like the half-naked swimsuit thing. I figured that I needed to do something different because most people who become famous always have things that come pop up back in their life and you have to deal with it. My hobbies are karaoke, skating, and bowling. I love to karaoke. It is just the most exciting thing for me to do. Me and my friends enjoy singing and entertaining people in front of the crowd. I love going skating in Chicago. We always skate. And it's a good form of exercise and a good stress relief. I love cooking. It's another form of painting to me. I know you're thinking, like, how is food painting? Well, I see colors, I see a taste, and I see a look it should have. I made some biscotti and some Italian chicken, and voila, it came out beautiful just because of the thought of me thinking of it like paint. I was like, wow, this is awesome. So if I can imagine everything like art, I can recreate it. So I started doing seafood platters, tilapia blackened, and grilled shrimp and veggies. And I'm like, I have way more talents than I can imagine. Painting, writing books and songs, and drawing and creating designing, that come natural to me. I was drawing since I was about 4 years old, and my parents didn't buy me toys. They bought me art supplies. I snuck in nail school and became a certified nail technician, and I did nails in high school and for people in college to survive and to make extra money. Friends who introduced me to paint was a friend who told me I needed to stop wasting my money on shoes and buy some paint. So I went and bought some paint because I had no pictures on my wall when I moved in my place, and voila, once again, it came natural to me. I could look at something and envision it and paint it and make it come to life in the way that I see it. And I felt like it was the best stress relief ever. I only use brushes and t-shirts and paper towel. I use paper towel and t-shirts to blend, and I'll use brushes to get detail. But most of the time I paint with t-shirts, and I love every bit of it. Art to me is almost like another form of music. Music is almost like the blood that runs in your veins. It's a necessity to me. When I'm having a bad day, when I'm not feeling good, I always think of music or think of some kind of painting that I can do that makes me feel better. My very first painting consisted of my bar. I saw my bar, decided to take some canvas and recreate what I was looking at right there in my face. And it was so crazy because my friends were watching me, and it came out outstanding. And I framed it, and that was my very, very first painting in November of 2010. I figured it was time for a career change. I needed to start doing something that I love doing. God didn't give me these talents for nothing. I do not believe in wasted talent. It was time for me to leave my corporate life, start making a living in my talent instead. And so I had to stop being a scaredy cat. I had to get myself together and just quit and move ahead. I started to take risks. I started piercing my neck, doing crazy things that are out of the ordinary. And since I had my neck pierced and I had lost my mind at this point, I figured I need to do something to my hair so that my piercing can show. So I wanted to get me a bob hairstyle. I wanted to change my whole look entirely. Short hair, I didn't even care. Even though I was scared I wasn't going to look correct if I cut all my hair off. So I went into the mirror, got some scissors, and just cut all my hair off. And voila, I started to create my own look. I look like my mother now, though. It started to freak me out. I was like, oh, wait a minute. This bob is starting to make me look like my mom. And you know, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. I am her fruit, so anyhow, I wanted to also get more dangerous and get like a tattoo on my waist. So I went there and got tatted up. I wanted to smack the tattoo artist because it was so much pain. But now I've created my image. I need a team. Patrice Coleman, she's my publicist, and said, you need to move to California and come visit. It is time to take your name and your brand and your talent seriously. And I will be your publicist, you'll be my client, but I'll be your friend as well. Kwandi, my business partner of Mental Genius Productions, me and her started working on things together. We love each other's chemistry when it comes to work. She's a photographer now. She writes books. She has 2 books coming out. She's writing plays, and now we're working on plays together. We also are creating t-shirts. So then we'll soon have a t-shirt line. She already has one called African Visions. Mark Hobson, he had so much faith in me when I didn't even have faith. I had to make him my manager. This man supports my talents and supports my vision, and he understands my potential. So now I've done it. I have a team. I have a dream. I have a vision. I've started editing photos. I started fashion designing. I started choreographing photo shoots. I started styling the people in the photos. And I said I want to start writing books. And I also want to start writing scripts. And I'm trying to create my own reality show called The Living Room of Habitual Liars. And to put a cherry on top, I think soon I will be taking some acting classes because I am ready to perform on stage and become an actress. I love doing plays. And it was so funny, one day I was reading my fortune cookie and said that a musical opportunity is near my future. And I started to get people that asked me to help write hooks, and they wanted me to help write songs. And I can't wait to be like Puff Daddy or Russell Simmons one day. Oprah, you gotta scoot over. I also started doing makeup for fun because to me the face is another form of canvas. I would recreate myself into things like a Raggedy Ann doll. And people say, why do you want to be successful? My mother is very giving, and God bless her with me as a gift. And I feel like I should be a superwoman and give her everything she's ever given to me back in return and bless her. And I don't want to become successful for a fancy car, clothes, or home. I want to do it because I believe in not wasting my talents that God gave me. And I want to give it back to Him. And I want to give it back to my mom. I want to put God first. Life is what you make it. I know that I'm not perfect, but one day I want to get married because I want to have children. And all these things shall happen, and it has been spoken. So right now, what do you say? I am a painter. I started writing my first book. I'm learning how to write songs. I'm learning how to write scripts and movie scripts. I am learning how to do whatever God has blessed me to do. And in my future, I want to become an actress. I want to make a few books. I want to have a few movies. I I want to be in some movies. And I thank you for watching Behind the Music of Renata Nicole. Remember, the fake page is not mine. This is my official page. And thank you for doing and watching this with me on Facebook. And I appreciate you learning my bio. And that'll be all. The Life of Renata Nicole.